what's the purpose of the BLDC? And, so you have a little intro.
Yeah. Well, the purpose of the BLDC is to help promote economic development in Butte Silver Bow. And the two biggest things we do are attract businesses in the primary and secondary sectors, such as manufacturing, for instance. But also then our loan department is one of the biggest things we have and promote, and that's getting working capital into the hands of folks who need it the most.
You recently had your dinner, and you'd been doing listening sessions up to that point.
Yeah.
And I think you presented your findings somewhat at the...
Yeah, we presented them, somewhat. We still really have a lot of work to do on our strategic plan.
Oh,
it's going to be a 5-year plan that will inform the work we do in the coming years.
Right.
And so, we just touched a little bit on those at the dinner, but not ready completely to unveil them to everyone yet.
Right.
Still just, still dialing in, still drilling down.
Right. Looking over your data and stuff.
Yes.
And a lot of it is listening, and then are there other metrics you put in there?
Yeah, so some nice things we've done. We had a survey that went out, and we hoped for about 225 responses. We got 227, so we were thrilled with the feedback and that people took the time to give us their input. And now we have about 40 or 50 of those folks that want someone to reach out to them. So we're going to be doing some dialing and making follow-up calls and trying to get a little more information.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, just see what it is people want to hear about. And we haven't begun that process yet, so I'm not sure what's going to rise to the top, but it'll be interesting to hear what's on people's minds.
Well, that is great that you're doing that. When I'm on the street, sometimes, not recently, but in years past, I've been on the street for too many years, but people would say, I never see them, we don't hear from them.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're working on that.
We've worked very hard in the last couple of years to get our face out there, to make sure that people know we're here, what we do, how we can help, just really trying to increase our presence in the community.
Oh, and so are you guys in the middle of your membership drive now, or is that an ongoing?
We're just kicking it off. We usually run our membership drive from about May to September, and we've had some really good membership drives in recent years. We're really pleased to have good support from the community. I think people are recognizing the good work we're doing and want to be a part of that. We're going to mix it up a little bit this year. We still don't know 100% what it looks like, but in the next 10 days or so, we're going to have our plan laid out. We're going to be offering some different things. We've been doing member chat now for about 1.5 years, where we do a quarterly member chat at a local Butte business and just sit down with some of our members and talk about what's going on. But we're going to mix that up, and I think we're going to do some evening events. That's something we've heard, is that folks wish we would do something a little later in the evening, so it would be easier for them to attend. So we're going to start that, and probably towards the beginning of our next fiscal year, which is around November 1st.
Do you guys still have your kind of multi-agency marketing meeting? I think it's monthly with community development and those kind
Yeah, so we meet monthly. There's a group of us that are economic development leaders here in town. We actually meet every 2 weeks,
Oh, wow.
We meet every 2 weeks, and we just talk about what's happening and, what could we be doing better, and what's new, what's coming in, what do we want to try to attract, what needs our help or our assistance. So that group meets regularly, and we get a lot accomplished.
Right, so you can kind of coordinate each other, what you're doing and that sort of thing.
We also have a couple of state meetings. We have a state meeting for economic development organizations that's led by the Department of Commerce, and we talk about things that are going on in each of the communities around the state, but also we talk about what's coming in that we're all working on attracting, and it's very informative. It's a very good way to network with our fellow economic development folks.
I was going to ask you what initiatives you've got going, but you just answered that really. With your
strategic plan, membership, of course, is coming up. And then on the Headwaters side of things, we're going to be doing a summer road tour. We did it last year as well. We'll go to all of our communities out in the 7 counties. We'll meet with city councils, county commissioners. We'll meet with our bank partners. And we'll meet with stakeholders in the communities, small business owners, chambers of commerce, to talk about how we can help them, how our programs and services can assist them.
You know, you guys used to have an awards ceremony for the headwaters. I don't know if you still do that.
You know, we haven't done that in a number of years. It's something that we might bring back. But I think with COVID, things got a little disrupted.
Right.
And it's something we just haven't brought back. But it's possible that we will do that in the future.
I know those things are a lot of work.
Yeah, they are. But they're lots of fun, too. And it's nice to recognize the movers and shakers in our community.
And are there any new businesses on the horizon that you want to talk about? Or?
Yeah, you know, nothing I can talk about specifically. We have lots of confidentiality agreements with our clients. I will say in our Small Business Development Center, we've got 25 active clients right now, people looking at pursuing small businesses in Butte, some of them in Butte, some in the surrounding region. Our regional director of the Small Business Development Center is very busy right now. He's got his hands full. And
who is that?
That's Jay Doyle.
Jay is that?
Yeah,
that is Jay's job.
Yep, that's Jay's job, and so they're keeping him busy. I'll talk a little bit more about our loan department.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we're looking at expanding we're hoping the addition of a part-time or possibly a full-time employee. We're still kind of going to see what fits the best exactly, but our loan department is busy. We have a lot going on there, and we could use some more help.
Okay.
So we're excited to be expanding that a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, we've recently gotten 2 new revolving loan funds. Last year we got the Big Sky revolving loan fund from the Department of Commerce for about $540,000, and then we got a tourism revolving loan fund for $1.3 million. So we have a lot of money to lend to folks that are in the tourism space and looking for infrastructure improvements or other things to help their businesses grow and expand.
Now, do they have to, can they come to you initially, or do they have to have been turned down by the bank already? Or?
Well, they can come to us. So what we kind of like them to do is come to us, to our Small Business Development Center. We assist them in getting some things pulled together that they would need for loan packaging for the bank. And then if the bank turns them down, then we're often willing to step in and take on that additional risk.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get them set. That's a great approach.
And we partner with banks a lot. Sometimes we just provide gap financing.
Oh.
You know, if the bank's not willing to do the whole deal, we might take on a little piece of it.
Right.
Yeah, and we work very closely with the banks, not only in Butte, but throughout the surrounding region as well.
In the old days, I don't hear this much anymore, so you must be doing a good job. But existing businesses would sometimes complain that you were too focused on recruiting and not enough on supporting them, you know.
Yeah, and I think as we go through 2025, that's something we'll be looking at. I was recently at the Economic Development Administration's conference in Denver, and that was something they talked a lot about, is focusing on those existing businesses versus always trying to recruit new businesses. And I think that's something you'll see us not necessarily drop the recruitment, because that's a very important part of what we do, but to also focus on who's here already. And I think thinking about legacy businesses and making sure that they pass on instead of just closing. Harrington Surgical is one that comes to my mind. I feel like that kind of closed and was gone before we even knew it was closing, and we wish we could have done something to help keep that business going in our community.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I worked at the hospitals and buildings, and we used to buy stuff from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they were.
Yeah, it was a tremendous business to have here in town, and and it's a shame that it's gone. But had we known, maybe we would have been able to intervene a little sooner.
Is there anything else you want to talk about on the horizon, or?
Yeah, I think we've got some interest. You've probably read or heard around town that there's a data center looking to come to Montana Connections Park out here and take up about 600 acres in that space. So that would be great to see that come to fruition. Sonata, the Norwegian company, they're still showing some interest. Their plans are maybe a little further out than we had initially thought. But they're definitely still interested in Butte.
And what do they do? I know I've seen them.
They make components for lithium-ion batteries for things like electric vehicles. Yeah.
Right.
The retail that's going on right now on Harrison Avenue is tremendous with Tractor Supply, the work that's going to be done at the old Butte Plaza Mall, Cornerstone Plaza, the Monteriors building. We've got Harbor Freight now There's a lot happening.
There is.
There is. And I think you'll just see that that momentum continue to grow.
Is there anything else you want the people to know about you guys?
Just that we're here. You know, we've got a great team up here. There are 7 of us currently. We're looking to fill 2 positions. One is that part-time loan officer position that I mentioned, and the other is our SBDC business advisor position.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have 2 people in that department when we get that staffed up. And those jobs are
Right.
posted right now on Indeed.com if anyone listening is
Right.
looking for a great career opportunity. We do important work and fun work, and we have a good time doing it.